Can you 2-tower chimps with all tier 5 boomerangs? And actually, I'm pretty excited about this one because I've never done anything like this. I mean, we've done some individual 2-tower chimps runs, but we've never done it with a single tower, and that is with all tier 5s of that single tower. So I wanted to try the boomerang because the boomerang is one of those unique towers which all the tier 5s, as I guess that's the case with all of the other towers in BT6, but this is a really interesting one because, well, there are things that it does and then things that it doesn't do. Like, for example, you take a look at the Glaive Lord, which is going to be the first one that we're going to be doing with. The Glaive Lord has this interesting thing where if you go for the bottom crosspath like we did, we can pop lead balloons. It can also clear out these small balloons when we go for the more glaives, and it's going to have hidden camo detection. The problem is that, well, that's a super expensive upgrade, and I'm not exactly sure how well it's going to scale into the late game, so that means that we're probably going to get a... We need a tower that's going to complement this guy really well, right? So for the first one, I was thinking that we just do the Glaive Lord with the MAD, which is just probably the easiest 2-tower chimps strategy that you can do in the entirety of BT6, and it's been like this for a very long time. And we're not even gonna stop there because this is gonna be like 3 videos crammed into one of them, and that's something else that I've also not done before, so it should be really fun. So we're gonna start with the Glaive Ricochet, 302 on the boomerang. This guy's gonna defend the early rounds, but we need to go into the darting as soon as possible. And actually, I think I've done this in the past. I've made like one of those. If you guys have been following the channel for a long time, I used to do these like 2-minute videos before I started, uploading these long form videos, which you might not know. But essentially, when I was doing these like shorter videos, I would also do a lot of, these kind of achievement and whatever, like 2-tower chimp strategies, right? And these like interesting community things. So from those days, I have some flashbacks with this specific 2-tower chimps combo. I think that you go for the bottom crosspath, I think, on the darting. Am I correct about that thing? And then you also kind of need to be careful with the upgrade. So I'm not sure, like, you stop at the more glaives, but then when do you stop at the darting? Do you stop at the Hydra Rocket pods? I'm not sure. And then we're also gonna have to micro the darting until we can get to the Glaive Lord, because well, we are not gonna have any more popping power with the more glaives. So let me go like this. Let's get the powerful darts. I think this is gonna be a good upgrade in which we are allowed to spend money on, even though just something like a 030 might have been fine. There are no important upgrades on the bottom path on the darting. So talking about these combos, like for example the next one, let me by the way buy the more glaives, and talking about the next one that we're gonna do after this one is gonna be a Perma-Charge, and I do have some strategies in mind for it, but like it's gonna get challenging, right? Because the Perma-Charge, well, it doesn't have camo detection, and you want to go for the top crosspath instead of the bottom one, so that means that you're gonna be forfeiting lead popping power. So I don't know, like you need to do these small trade-offs, you need to pick the towers correctly. So we're gonna see what happens on that one. And then, oh my god, don't even get me started on the MOAB Domination. Like that thing can pop lead balloons, it can probably deal with the MOAB class balloons, but it's just, it doesn't have camo detection, and it's a super expensive upgrade. It's like $54,000 if I remember correctly. Yeah, there we go, 54k for this one. So I do actually have strategies in mind for all of these guys, but let's see how we do. So around 39 we're gonna have the MOAB, and then what you have to do on this one is you probably don't have to, actually you could probably just micro this guy to 022, but we're gonna get the Hydra Rocket pods just in case, and then we're gonna need to micro for this MOAB around 40, and then every single MOAB until we can afford the Glaive Lord. So the Glaive Lord is 31.7, and we need to just keep microing this guy. So let's go like this. It should pop right about now, and there you go. So we're very, very lucky that this boomerang can actually clear small balloons without any issues, which is not gonna be the case with the other pads, so we're gonna have to think about something going forward with those guys. And then we're going around 49, so I'm just thinking if we want to buy the Rocket Storm, I would rather not buy it actually. This thing is 6k, and the Glaive Lord is 31.7, so it's gonna delay the Glaive Lord by a lot, and I'm not exactly sure that we're getting that much from the Rocket Storm, because I think you only get an ability, like the main attack doesn't get more powerful on the darting, I don't think. Let me just, by the way, micro this guy, follow the MOAB. Actually, you know what, popping these MOAB glass balloons is gonna become easier as the glaives from the more glaives keep bouncing between them, so actually having more small balloons on screen is gonna contribute to this guy being a little bit stronger in popping the MOAB class balloons, but it's not by a lot because he still only does like 2 damage per glaive. So yeah, okay, let's see how we do on 51. I'm curious about this one because we only have one single tower that deals with camo balloons, and these guys are ceramics, and I think that we're doing well actually. Wait, was this the round to which you had to go for the 032 for the bottom crosspath so you get the pierce? And look at this thing. So this guy obviously absolutely sucks versus MOAB class balloons, but because there are 3 MOABs and these glaives keep bouncing between them, the MOAB damage that this guy does actually gets increased. And yeah, this is how he goes versus 53. And almost there. I think we might have the money. I'm not sure if it's gonna be after this round or maybe after the next one, but yeah, ceramics and MOAB, so very good. But we have been following along these MOAB class balloons this entire time, but thankfully this is nothing too difficult, especially because it's only the 50s and it's only small, or I should say blue MOABs. And there we go, 31,000, 31 and a half actually. And after finishing this round, we should have the money for the Glaive Lord. So let me just kind of micro follow along this MOAB class balloon, and there we go, we get the money for the Glaive Lord. So finally buy this guy, hitting camo detection, here we go. And then I'm just gonna lock this guy in place somewhere towards the back, and I think that the Glaive Lord is gonna be soloing all of these rounds. Like, honestly, they made the Glaive Lord so powerful recently that I think that this guy's gonna go like easily into the 80s by himself. So yeah, I'm not gonna have a close round in a very long time, so I'm gonna see you guys in a second with the math. And just like that, round 83, $56,000, and guys, we're doing amazing. Look at how good the Glaive Lord is, by the way. Like, they've been buffing this tower so much recently. Just look at these small blue MOAB. Oh my god, this is beating it by itself. Like, this darling isn't even doing anything because it's just super weak. It doesn't do anything versus super ceramics nor fortified, well, not fortified, but these ramped up MOABs, right? And yeah, this Glaive Lord, I mean, they give it so many things, like these glaives, the ability to bounce all over the map with unlimited range, and also the fact that these glaives now can bounce on the same balloon if 0.6 seconds have passed. And because this is kind of a long map and it takes a little bit of a while for these balloons to reach the Glaive Lord, I think that specific buff is doing a lot of heavy lifting, especially in this run. But there we go, we have $65,000, so let me buy the mat, and starting from this point onward, not even the big MOAB class balloons are going to be an issue. So yeah, that was like the first UMG of 85. This is the second one. It is just, guys, you already know what's going to be happening, and I think that we might, if I remember correctly, we might need to use an ability on 98. I might be wrong about that once it's all these Glaive Lord buffs actually, but I think you just use the ability like once in this entire run, and that's why it was deemed the easiest 2-tower chimps in the game. And it's round 92, and just look at how fast these rounds are going because we have just excessive amounts of damage at this point. So look at how good the Glaive Lord is, by the way, in dealing with small balloons as well, because it does get extra damage versus them. And then the mat, just these rockets, one of the rockets just does so much damage to the MOAB class balloons. That's why this entire run is going to be over in like 2 minutes, I think, or something like that, even though we have like 7 rounds left to go. Alright, so 95, I usually like watching this round because, well, it's DDTs, it's a lot of DDTs and 45 MOABs, and just take a look at how good the mat is. Yeah, this is why this combo is so good, and bam, that's all it took for these guys. It's gonna be around 96, so all of these small balloons, they're gonna be sparing as well, no problem. Small MOABs, a bunch of MOABs actually in this one, because the way that this round comes out, it's a bunch of BFBs, it's a bunch of small 45 MOABs, and then it's just a bunch of ZMGs behind them. And like, I'm just saying what's going on in this round, and the round is already done. That's how strong these guys are. This is such a great combo for 2-tower chimps, and I hope that we have some similar luck for our upcoming runs. That's all I'm gonna say. Round 98, so this one shouldn't be too difficult. I do want to micro the mat a little bit around 100 if we like, if the bad like makes it all the way around this small little circle. But this is round 98, and if I remember correctly, we were supposed to be using the mat ability previously on this one, but this combo has gotten so strong that we didn't even need to use anything on this round. Yeah, that's how good these guys are. But that's gonna be around 100, and with that, our first 2-tower chimps combo. So we have 2 of these guys remaining, and I think, you know what, you probably don't need to use the ability. Do we want to use it? Nah, let's actually keep it clean. Let's just go like this, and this bad balloon even popped just like so fast before even reaching the Glaive Lord. We get a 000 dog monkey. That's a nice insta, and there it is. That's the first combo of the 3 that we need to do in this video. Alright, so this is the second 2-tower chimps run. We're going to be using the Perma-Charge. I started off with the 002 Boomerang, and actually I am a little bit disappointed because I spent so much time trying to make a different combo trying to work as opposed to what we're going to be doing now. So what I went for was the ace. I wanted to do a Flying Fortress Perma-Charge 2-tower chimps, and I wanted to kind of cheese it because the bottom bed ace is actually an excellent tower. It does everything. It has camo detection, it can pop lead balloons, and eventually when you upgrade to a Flying Fortress, it can pop camo leads, which is essentially DDTs as well. I thought that was going to be cool by having, you know, something like a 002 Boomerang, because one of the weaknesses of the ace is that before you get the Spectre, you're not going to be able to pop lead balloons. So I was like, I'm going to get a 002 Boomerang and I'm going to make it, but the thing is, I bought the Bionic Boomerang and I should not have done that, and that's why I didn't have the money for a Spectre, and the whole run fell through. I do actually think that combo is possible, but the micro really becomes annoying and you actually have to try out a little bit harder. But I don't know, guys, like, this is just one of these things, you know, trying to do these 2-tower chimps runs. Okay, so let's actually do some preparation for this one. I had some really bad experience with the invisibility potion actually since they nerfed it in this latest update, where it now lasts 5 rounds. So you need to wait for the upgraded version for it to last 10 rounds. And so before you get to that one, you actually want to be keeping as many of these guys in stock as possible. And so that's why for the first camo balloon, I know it's only around 18, but for the first camo balloon, I'm just gonna place these road spikes like this. And this thing right here is the problem, by the way, that Jirala has with his 1-tower chimp run. Well, at least one of the problems, because he cannot pop lead balloons. You can kind of do it on Scrapyard, you can do some shenanigans, but again, he also starts missing a lot of damage later on, so yeah. But let me just start stacking up some of these nails. So wait a minute, how many? I think it's like 10 nails that are in total in one stack, right? And we did lose a little bit from round 24, so I hope that all these nails are going to be fine at the back. If not, we can buy like a couple. But actually, wait a minute, we did get the full restock on the invisibility potion, so yeah, maybe we should have done that as well. But let me just place like one more set of nails, and hopefully this is enough. I'm gonna keep one more in my hand, and it's just a bunch of rebels. You know what, I'm just gonna place one one more spike pile, and I hope that this is barely gonna, yes, it's barely gonna be enough. There we go. So like about, was that like 5 nails left? That's very good. What are we gonna do for these camos actually? Do we do the nails onto this one? Because if we give it the camo potion right now, it's gonna last through round 41, and that's not something that we like because we're gonna have camos of 42. So let's try with the nails actually. I think 3 stacks is gonna be fine. I'm just gonna have 1 stack in my hand just in case. Yeah, there we go. That was just actually right on the spot. Oh my god, I completely, wait a minute. So we can actually give it the camo potion now, right? Because it's gonna last on 42 as well, right? I think that this is fine. Do we need to use the ability? No, it's gonna be fine. Oh no, wait a minute, I messed up. No, we're not gonna have this thing on 42. No, we should have done with those camos with the nails, I think. And now, oh my god, and now you're supposed to use the camo potion. Yeah, we might have messed this one up. Okay, but we have to do it like this, right? Like we have to give this guy the camo potion, right? There's no other way. And again, more camo balloons. So what do we do about these guys? We just got a restock onto the invisibility potion, and wait a minute, we might have a little bit of an issue with the camo balloons onto this one. Okay, let me try something. So if we give the invisibility potion to the boomer right now, it's gonna last 47, 8, 9, 50, and then 51 for the ceramics, which is good. But then is it gonna restock is my question. I'm not sure. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna start stacking up some nails at the back, just, you know, preemptively in case we don't get the invisibility potion off cooldown, because these guys restock, I think it's like 1 charge every round, so we do have like at least 5 more rounds to spam these guys. I should have been doing this a little bit earlier, I think, but oh my god. Yes, look at this. So this is the last one, and I think we need to use the turbocharge ability actually to get rid of these ceramics. So let's use the ability right now, and then after this round ends, there we go, no more camo. Okay, so oh, look at this, no more camo potions. No, I should have checked what's the restock time on these guys. Oh my god, no. Well, at least we have a bunch of nails in the back, so look at our camo detection at the back, guys. This is it. Oh my god, I absolutely don't like this. We're gonna have some camos on 53, I'm pretty sure. So do we get a restock? We don't. No, this might be the end of it. Hopefully not too many camo balloons. Yeah, this is not gonna be enough. We're gonna have to restart actually. Oh my god, these camo balloons, man. We have to do something about this. Wait, is this like even possible now that I think about this? Okay, so let's try it like this. I'm gonna buy Geraldo 1 round earlier, so on round 9 instead of round 10. And actually, Geraldo's pet rabbit has innate camo detection, and that might be our savior. Now, you unlock the pet rabbit at level 10, but maybe if we start buying up the levels on Geraldo a little bit earlier, maybe we can get away with it, is what I'm saying. So there still might be a chance to save this one, actually. Let me just play through the early rounds a little bit, and I'm gonna see you guys in a second. You guys see this at the back? I'm ready for camo balloons now. Okay, so we now at least have a plan in place, and look at this thing. I've been placing root spikes every single round. As soon as they come out, I'm just buying them straight up. So we're gonna be doing 2 things. Number 1 is, well, keeping the spam going on the root spikes, and after the root spikes get depleted, that's where we're gonna start using the camo potions. And number 2 is we're gonna be putting as much money into Geraldo's levels as possible. I'm gonna keep these guys at 002. We don't need to buy the perma-charge yet, and we only need the lead popping power from this guy, basically. Look at this one, 33. Yes, I'm ready for you. Nothing is even happen. We're gonna tank 33 for sure, 36 for sure, and then if we can tank 37 with these road spikes, that's gonna be amazing, I think. Okay, let's watch the camos on 36 now, and how much are they gonna take away from our spike pile? Because if we can tank 37, that's essentially my goal. 4.4k for Jerry's Fire. You know what? I'm actually gonna buy this thing. This sounds like a good deal, and let's see if these guys are gonna hold on. I think they will. It's just a matter of how much we're gonna lose, and I think that was a huge chunk actually that we lost from these guys. Oh my god. Wait a minute. Let me actually just place a road spike at the back, and let's see if these guys can survive on their own. Because if we don't have to buy the hot fire, we're saving 650 essentially, and that's, well, that's my jam. So let's see if we can make it happen. Let me just give Geraldo, like, this thing's gonna be a $100 investment, but that's a lot better than 650, I think. And I'm gonna need you guys to just go to town onto, no, we cannot afford to do that. We're actually gonna tank that, we cannot do that. Okay, let me just give the jar of pickles a little bit earlier. I was late on that one, I'm gonna be honest. And you know what, even if I, like, have to place a glue, that's still a lot cheaper than having to buy. I think we're gonna have to, yeah, because it's essentially the same thing, right? It's a bunch of ceramics, so let's use the glue, and this is definitely, yeah, these guys are definitely gonna offend. There we go. So we spent, how much was that? Like $220 instead of 650. I'm taking that every day, I think. All right, so round 42, if we defeat all of these camo balloons with the roid spikes at the back, that's gonna be amazing, but I don't think this is happening. These guys have way too much RB, and I don't think these roid spikes are surviving. You know, it's gonna tank, like, I mean, they're gonna tank a decent amount of this round is like 1.5 rainbows left, but no, this is not gonna work. All right, so we're gonna have to use our first invisibility potion on this one. So 5 rounds only. This is gonna cover rounds up to, what's that, like 42, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the ones on 47 are not gonna get covered. The 47 has a bunch of pink balloons. So yeah, the timer is on, guys. We have to buy Geraldo's levels as fast as possible. So we are gonna reach level 9. Oh, wait a minute, I thought we were gonna get level 9 from beating around 43. Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna buy it like this. And so level 10 is 13,000. So if we wait on this round, like let's say, let me just place a turret if we can, because we need all the damage that we can get as cheap as possible. So let's go like this. All right, so round 46. This is gonna be the last round without camo detection, but we don't need it on this one. We need it on the next one. So I'm gonna buy the pet rabbit now, and I'm just gonna start placing these guys. So you do need a little bit of time until you can get all the bunnies out. I think they restock every 2 rounds. So yeah, the timer is on essentially. By the way, I did not do the calculations on this one. I maybe should have done it, but we have one more camo potion, and then after this one we should have one more, I think, come out of stock in like the mid, actually it's the early 50s. All right, so this round 50 we're gonna have camo ceramics on 51 the entire round, and we have 0 invisibility potions in stock. So unless, oh my god, it's not restocking. Okay, so we're gonna need one of these guys to restock on the next round, or well, this run is again over. I hope it's not, by the way. That was all ceramics on 51, and yes, we do get one more camo potion in stock. This is gonna be bunny number 3, by the way. So, and this one lasts for 5 rounds, so I think we actually might have it this time. Do we have any camos on 52? I forget, I hope not. But see, we're entering this one a little bit differently because we now have an invisibility potion. So yeah, our chances are a little bit better than last time. Okay, so let's go like this again. This is our last camo potion, and the bunny just needs to happen in the next 5 rounds. I think it is, by the way. I think we have it. I stopped even placing these road spikes in the back because I think we're just gonna get it straight up. Cheers for expired, by the way. Let me buy one more, and then do we want to buy something else for our towers? Because we're not exactly defending that well, I don't think. I think maybe it's time for us to start upgrading the boomer a little bit. I think now should be the round. Yes, look at this thing. So 3 rounds left to go, and finally, guys, this thing has paid off. So let's get the bunny paragon, and finally we have innate camo detection. So even if we don't have the invisibility potion, yes, we get it done. Okay, the run is still on, I guess. And just to show you guys that this thing in fact does have innate camo detection, so camo lets in a second, and look at what it does. It just one-shots them. It actually one-shots ceramics, which is pretty nice. So you guys know what's going to happen to rounds like 63 and stuff like that. But yeah, this bunny is way too good for the amount of money that you pay. This is around 63, and actually something I'm noticing is that these side towers, like the turrets and the boomer, they're actually making the bunny's job a little bit more difficult, because the bunny can one-shot them, but it doesn't have that much pierce. And when these guys start attacking, they actually start breaking up the balloons into smaller ones, and so that's kind of overloading the bunny's pierce. But we have this thing, is just, you know, it's just these small towers and the layering stuff in BT6. But there we go, that was the last one of round 63. Alright guys, a lot of things happening in the past few rounds, so let me walk you through everything. So first off, we got the upgraded turrets, and I started placing them here towards the right side because I feel like this might be a little bit better of a spot than in the middle. I just want to have these guys have more chances to attack, but I'm also kind of concerned about this backline with these more difficult rounds, because eventually if we start leaking out, you know, looks like ceramics and stuff like that, I just want to have some cleanup at the back, and if you have all your towers in the middle, that's just not gonna work. So maybe that might even prove to be like the wrong decision or something like that. I don't know, but we're gonna try like this anyways. Second is that we just got the money for a perma-charge, so we bought this thing, so now our damage is gonna skyrocket. And then number 3 is that we got the improved invisibility potion, which means that this thing now lasts for 10 rounds, and that is just amazing because we no longer have to worry about camo detection. Well, actually there's this one thing we need to worry about, and that's the fact that we are gonna have to have 2 camo potions active later on, both on Geraldo for all the small turrets and then the boomer as well. But I think we can play around that because Geraldo is gonna reach level 20 in the 90s, and that means that his entire shop is gonna get restocked. So yeah, not exactly, you know, too worried about all these things, but I do want to be spamming a couple of blade traps actually at the back, just in case. Money's not gonna be an issue in this entire run, it's just gonna be damage. Hopefully not, but you know, you can never be too safe, so I'm just gonna start placing these blade traps at the back as well. Round 89 is ending. We're gonna have our first DETs. Now I just want to see how this boomerang does by itself, and so I'm gonna give it a camo potion, but I'm gonna reapply the camo potion. Actually, it's melting them. Yeah, it's really good. But as I was saying, I'm gonna reapply the camo potion when we get the stronger variant, because there's one more variant of the invisibility potion, and that is, I think, level 18, where it's gonna start giving it extra damage to camo balloons, so that essentially means DDTs. We just keep placing these turrets at the back, and these mice have not done this for 3 rounds, it looks like. And I'm just gonna, what are we doing? I think are we keeping the shop or what? We're gonna get a restock for sure, so maybe we can just play around these items. So maybe let's like use this blade maelstrom like this, because we're getting a restock anyways. Let's actually use the boomer ability for all of these UMGs, and just take a look at this guy's pierce. The ability is active, and you don't see glaives coming out. So when we thin these these guys out, you guys are gonna see the glaives coming out, yeah, just like that. Well, it's not actually glaives, it's normal rangs because we went for the bottom crosspad, but you guys get what I'm saying. The pierce in this guy is just way too low, and it might be detrimental for our success actually, but let's see how we do. So more DDTs incoming. Geraldo is level 19, so we can reapply actually the camo potion. And wait a minute, do we want to do that? I think we do. Let's apply it on the perma-charge first, and just to be safe with these DDTs and everything. Okay, so let's use the boomer ability. We're gonna get level 20. When is this gonna be? Like around 96 maybe we're gonna get it. So we can probably do it like this. Let's use one of the blade maelstroms, and actually, you know what, before I forget, let me just use all of these genies actually onto, well, not the genies, but the Jerry's fires, because we're gonna get a full restock, so might as well use them now, right? Let's do the same thing with these sharpening stones, but I'm gonna give the sharpening stones to the guys at the back. And actually we can do the same thing with the jars of pickles, but you don't want to pickle Geraldo. Actually, you want to be pickling these blue ones individually, because what the jar of pickles does, it gives extra damage, but it also takes away 20% attack speed. And so because these red turrets have a lot more damage than the blue ones, if you give like these guys +1 damage, it goes from 6 to 7 I think, but you take away 20% attack speed, and that actually gets the damage lower. So you only want to be doing it to the guys on the left, the weaker ones. And yes, it looks like it's gonna be the next round in which we are gonna get level 20, so the entire shop is gonna restock, which means we can dump both of the genies on this one. But let's go like this. Let's just have fun with the ability as well onto these DDTs. So let's as soon as they appear, I'm gonna use the boomer ability, then maybe we can drop something like this, the regen potion. And you know what, we should probably also be dropping the glue, like just for, well, I want to say just for fun, but this run is still not over, so yeah, let's be careful. And there we go, that was round 95. Pretty easy actually, because we have a lot of damage. 2 genies active, Geraldo reached level 20, and bam, there we go, entire shop restock. So let's make sure to do the sharpening stone thingy onto all of our turrets. So these guys at the back all taken care of. Yeah, there we go. And let's get the invisibility potion onto Geraldo. And then what else are we missing, guys? I mean, we can place a couple of mines. It looks like we have 4 new turrets that we can place. Oh, a lot of things that we can do actually. Let me just place these turrets as fast as possible. And then do we need to do something with the balloons? Because I see a bunch of ZMGs, and maybe we can use the boomer ability on this one, because 97 is super slow, so we're gonna get a lot of time to get the cooldown off. Actually, this cooldown is not even that long, so it should be fine. But yeah, there we go. Around 97, I'm just finishing up the placement onto these giant nails, and that is it. So what else do we do, guys? I mean, 4 maelstroms, 2 genies, which we absolutely do need to save, by the way, so we cannot allow ourselves to be using, you know, these genies and all these items recklessly, because we can just straight up lose the game like this if we play it wrong. So it's round 98, and here's what I want to do. Let's try and play it. Oh, look at the backline, by the way. This is like worse than well, not worse for us, worse with the balloons than a perma spike, I think. So let's go like this. I see, by the way, a Jerry's fire, so let's just give it to some of these guys. It's random. Let me place one of the genies, and let's place like a couple of glues just to slow down these guys a little bit. I'm gonna place only one of the glues actually. Let's place some creepy idols, because they do stun the MOAB class balloons, and I'm gonna use the boomer ability. And I'm also, do we want to use a regen potion is my question? I think we do. Yeah, let's use one of the regen potions just so we get the ability back. And I'm gonna use, as soon as it comes out, I'm gonna use the boomer ability again. This is what Geraldo has a problem in his 1 tower chimps run, so hopefully this boomerang is gonna help us out just enough so that we can take care of this round. And so far so good. The genie is going to town, ZMGs, but look at this thing, just so many balloons left, guys. Oh my god, let me just use the glue. Oh wait a minute, I think we're gonna leak at the back. How is this looking? Let's blade maelstrom it. We have 3 of these guys, I completely forgot about them. There's gonna be 1 maelstrom, this is gonna be maelstrom number 2. Oh my god, it's lagging a little bit. Such a mess on screen with all these Geraldo items, but I think I'm going for maelstrom number 3. Am I? No, let's be patient with this one. Let's not use it. I think we have it. Yes, there we go. Finally, round 98 done. Okay, so if we place the genie now, it's gonna last for 99 and 100, so it's good to do it actually. Let me place a mine at the back just because I'm still paranoid a little. And let's use the boomer ability so we deal with the DDTs. And yes, only the bad balloon left. There we go. Alright, I think we have this actually. So how is the damage on the bad balloon going? We do have a genie, we do have the boomer going, which is actually pretty nice versus these bad balloons, as I mentioned, versus these like single target balloons. Let me use the boomer ability, and then let me use the regen potion, and I think I'm going to use a maelstrom. Oh yes, there we go. We get it done. Yes, let's use a glue as well to slow these guys down a little bit. And finally, we get it done, guys. 2 tower chimps number 2. Let's just hit free play for a second. And yes, so look at this thing. Perma-Charge plus Geraldo. We get it done. Okay, 1 more left to go. And finally, the last one. Alright, so we have to do the MOAB Domination. And actually, I think I found the perfect partner for the MOAB Domination. And that's going to be the Prince of Darkness. Now, I was actually thinking a lot what to pair this guy with. And actually, the conditions that the complementary tower for the 2 tower chimps to the MOAB Domination needs to have are, well, there's a lot of things that this tower needs to do, right? Okay, so this tower needs to first off be able to reveal balloons, because the MOAB Domination has no camo detection and no innate, unlike, for example, the Glaive Lord. So we're gonna need a tower that reveals, but also a tower that's gonna be able to hold its own for a very, very long time. time because the MOAB Domination costs $54,000. So I was thinking, what's the tower that checks all of these boxes? Be a camo reveal tower, a tower that holds its own, and then at the same time, you know, just when you think about the MOAB Domination and the way it works, so it does very good versus MOAB class Bloons, right? And it's gonna pop all the MOAB class Bloons regardless of, you know, whether you're in free play or not. The thing is, it's gonna leave a lot of small Bloons after those guys are popped, and so a tower that actually does exceptionally well with the small Bloons is the Prince of Darkness itself. So I think that these two are a great match, but let's see if we can make it happen. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start with the Wall of Fire. The crossbat onto the MOAB Domination is going to be a 0-2-5, which is the bear one, and then I'm also looking to get the MOAB press actually for the MOAB on round 40 because, well, this guy is probably not, you know, the wizard is probably not going to be able to defend the MOAB by itself. And something that we need to be very, very careful of is the graveyard onto the necromancer and then eventually the priest of darkness. I'm more worried about the graveyard on the necromancer actually because that's going to be our main popping power. So as long as that thing is filled up and as long as it's holding its own, it's going to be fine. And then once we get to the Prince of Darkness, I think the Prince of Darkness' journey to getting the MOAB Domination is actually going to be kind of smooth. So let's see how we do. So we have a 0-2-2 wizard so far. Are we going to have enough money to buy the Shimmer, the Necromancer, and then the MOAB press as well by round 40? And I'm not so sure. So we're going to start with the Kylie Boomerang and then let's just kind of see how these next few rounds go. Alright, I think we're going to have the money for basically everything we want to get. So I bought the Shimmer and I'm going to buy the Necromancer, and then we only need 2.6k for the MOAB press for round 40. That's really important for the MOAB, and it's actually kind of helpful the fact that the Prince of Darkness is not exactly that expensive of a tower, but it's also really strong. I mean, they did nerf it. By the way, if you guys remember, the Prince of Darkness was like a part of a lot of the chimps strategies, so the normal chimp strategies like a few updates ago because it was just that much overpowered, but they kind of toned it down, so now it's in a good spot, I would say, and it is good enough for us to get the job done. So let's get the MOAB press, and I think I'm going to keep this guy on strong because we primarily wanted focusing down the MOAB class Bloons, and there we go, that's about it. So we essentially need this guy to start pop the MOAB class Bloons, just get rid of the MOAB layer, and then this is going to be the whole story basically of this entire game, where just this guy pops the big Bloons and then the Prince of Darkness cleans up the small ones, and everything is going according to plan. So MOAB press dealing with the MOAB class Bloons, the wizard is just dealing with the small ones, the Shimmer is helping out, giving this guy a little bit of, you know, camo detection. That's going to be really nice for the late rounds, obviously, you know, DDTs and stuff like that. And then round 52, this should be the round at which we, or is this going to be the one? I know there are ceramics on this one and MOAB, so yeah, this is, if not this one, then the next round is probably going to be the one at which we finally get the money for the Prince of Darkness. And once you get it, the Prince of Darkness, like, that tower just doesn't lose in like non-free play, I don't think, and I think it kind of does well into free play as well, at least when it comes to, you know, cleaning out the small Bloons for sure, and then maybe like some of these early 80s and stuff like that. But look at this thing go, guys, we have not had any issues and I'm super excited about this. Okay, so finally we get the money for the Prince of Darkness, so let's buy it, and as of this point we are going for $54,000. That is definitely gonna take a while. I'm not sure how long, like probably, if I have to guess, maybe like it's gonna be the early like to mid 80s or something like that, but we have a long journey in front of us, and hopefully the Prince of Darkness can defend, and I think it will actually. And it's round 79 and it's right on time. There we go, we get the money for the MOAB Dom. So finally, let me buy this thing. Are we keeping it on strong? That's a very important question. We're gonna figure out what the answer is in a second. I think I'm gonna enter free play by it being on strong, but we might want to switch it to first to help out a little bit with the ceramic cleanup. But look at how good this tower is versus MOAB class Bloons, guys. Look at how good this explosion is versus all these MOAB class Bloons, and this is just what's gonna be happening for the entirety of the game. Now the question is this gonna be, if this is gonna be enough in the first place, because we bought our towers, the idea is there. This is cleanup plus camo detection, and then this is just MOAB and a lot of popping power like in general by itself, but is it gonna be enough? I don't know, and we're gonna figure out in a second. So I think these early free rounds are gonna be chill. I'm really curious to see how we do versus DDTs actually. Alright, so 89, we're about to enter DDT territory, and I'm actually gonna switch the targeting to first. I think keeping it on first is probably gonna be the better choice because we're dealing with these super ceramics pretty fast. Oh, by the way, that was the DDT, so we're dealing with them, no problem, it looks like. And also the projectiles that deal with MOAB class Bloons and like this normal attack, there's like two projectiles basically. So there's like this MOAB explosion one, which does a lot of damage. So I feel like that's gonna be enough versus the MOAB class Bloons, and then the normal attack should be enough versus the small ceramics and the leftovers. course. Alright, more DDTs on this one. Let's see how we do onto these guys. So we're gonna need to reveal them first, and then I think the Prince of Darkness actually is kind of a decent tower versus DDTs by itself, because the DDTs, they don't have that much HP, and so they kind of get absorbed by all these resummoned BFBs. So I think it's actually gonna be fine on 95, right? It's actually rounds like this one that we need to be watching out for. So no 45 balloons on this one, and let's see how we do. So the small balloons are getting taken care of. The pushback is really nice, and look at this thing. The MOAB Dom is actually really strong. Wow, wait a minute, this thing is just gonna win, isn't it? I mean, I guess I'm still worried about 98 to 99, the 45 DDTs a little bit maybe, then definitely around 100, because this graveyard is gonna run out around 100, so that's gonna be a little bit of a problem. But let's watch 95. Okay, so these DDTs, absolutely no problem. Yeah, we're definitely dealing with them. As soon as they get just revealed by this shimmer, it's game over for them. So yeah, absolutely no trouble on 95. Super happy about how this run is going so far, by the way. This is such a chill run in comparison to what we had to go through with the Perma-Charge, and I didn't even show you guys my attempts with like the never miss, and I was trying to get the Spectre as a pair to the Perma-Charge. So yeah, this is just going so smooth. Let me not jinx it, because if 98 and 99 go well, then round 100 is probably gonna be, I don't know, it's gonna be an interesting one to watch for sure, because I'm not sure if the damage is gonna be quite enough in the graveyard onto this guy. But yeah, this is a long ways to go until we reach those. Alright, so finally 98, really important round, the most RB out of all rounds on Chimps mode, and let's see how we do. So I just want to watch what this big boomer is doing. So I'm not talking about the one that does the pushback and the DPS effect. I'm talking about, you know, these small ones that are flying through, because I need those guys to help out the Prince of Darkness actually, and we still have not reached, at least the balloons have not reached the Prince of Darkness, right? The bottom track is our strongest track out of all of them, because that's where all the resummon balloons are. But so far it's looking like it's going well, right? I mean, I can see like there's like one ZMG left, and all of the, yeah, there's no more ZMGs left, and all these guys that are leftovers are just like the 45s, and then a little bit of the non-45 ones which are coming out of the ZMGs. Oh, there we go. Wait, so we dealt with the 45, so that means it's only gonna be non-45s, and these guys are actually a lot easier. Let me just check the graveyard. So the graveyard is maxed out on this guy, which is really good. Now I'm hoping that the MOAB Dom is gonna help with the cleanup of the small ceramics, and as long as the graveyard doesn't get overloaded, which it absolutely never even came close. What am I talking about, man? These guys are so good. As far as the 45 DTs, again, we should have no problem with these guys, but let's just kind of watch it and watch the graveyard. So oh my god, this thing is maxed all the time. Yeah, so unless we lose to round 100, then this run is gonna be over. So yeah, watch the graveyard, by the way, just going down, because now no balloons are getting popped in the vicinity of this guy. And so the only question is if this guy, the MOAB Domination, is gonna be able to carry this run for us. So yeah, this is basically what it comes down to. I mean, it's actually doing a decent job, and this special attack which does the explosion and the DPS on it has been going well so far. I mean, it's carrying, so I think the bat should pop like kind of soon-ish. Yeah, there we go. So these get revealed, and we do get a little bit of the graveyard back. That's really nice. But all these ZMGs, they are gonna pop in the range of the Prince of Darkness, so we should get the graveyard up and running. Okay, there we go. 1.2k, 1.4, and yes, there we go. We get it done. And finally, that's 3 out of 3, guys. We did 2 tower chimps with every single tier 5 boomerang. And besides the Perma-Charge being a little bit of a struggle, the other 2 were pretty much a breeze. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.